So you remember me, right? Okay. I was out there that day. As you know, you're under arrest. Did they tell you what your charges were for? Yep. I think that there's more people involved in this that should be sitting in the chair you're sitting with too. So, I want to hear from you. What happened?
Honestly, I can't say how she passed away. When I found her, she was sleeping. All I can say is, she did receive whoopings. I don't know how she passed. I don't know how she passed away. I honestly don't.
Okay. How did she get the pinch marks all over her body?
This is 34-year-old Tyshael Martin, girlfriend of Lojuan Sessions, and the woman who was watching his 9-year-old daughter, Jamaria, when Jamaria stopped breathing. She says she doesn't know how it happened. She says her hands aren't the ones that did the worst of it. What Tyshael doesn't know, sitting in this chair, is what her own home's security cameras already recorded.
But I wasn't abusing her over the time, though.
On the 15th, when you kicked her down, punched her, or kicked her in the gut, kicked her in the back, stomped her head, grabbed her by her hair, dragged her across the floor, had the dog like he's gnawing on her face, right? And she's at the bottom of the stairs and she's lifeless and helpless and limp. And you're yelling at her to get the fuck up. Go upstairs, get the fuck up. This bitch wants me to kill her.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so question for you. Does that look good or does that look bad?
No, it looks bad.
Okay. Is that abuse?
It was just words.
No, it wasn't just words. You kicked her repeatedly. You stomped her head. You kicked her in the back, kicked her in the stomach. You dragged her by her hair across the floor, up the stairs. Like, so that's abuse. I don't know how you want to define that. That's not discipline. That's not corporal punishment. That's not a scare tactic. That's straight up abuse. So if you're asking me honestly, did you abuse her?
By the end of this interview, Tyshael Martin will admit to all of it. But 2 hours earlier, in this same chair, this is where she started. Jamaria Sessions was 9 years old. She loved animals, and she'd told people she wanted to grow up and become a veterinarian. In January of 2024, she and her older sister Julia left California to come live with their father, Lojuan Sessions, in Florida, in a house already full of kids, run day-to-day by Lojuan's girlfriend, Tyshael Martin. 5 months later, in June, Tyshael took Jamaria and 4 other children on a carnival cruise out of Miami. Jamaria would never make it home to California again. Jamaria died sometime before dawn on June 17, 2024, in the Montverde, Florida home she shared with her father Tyshael and Tyshael's own children. By the time paramedics arrived, she had already been dead for hours. Investigators would later estimate as long as a day and a half. 2 days later, Tyshael Martin sat down with detectives for a recorded interview. What follows is that interview, largely in her own words. Before this interview even starts, detectives already know more than Tyshael thinks they do. The home ran on a security system with cloud storage. 2,820 video clips, all pulled and logged. There's a 26-page autopsy report. Hospital records from an untreated dog bite. A burn wound on Jamaria's foot that no doctor ever saw. And a written statement from a cruise ship counselor who watched Jamaria for 4 days straight and wrote down exactly what she saw. The interview opens with Lieutenant Tammy D. introducing herself before the lead detective, Mercer, takes over.
Tyshael, I'm just going to wait on Detective Mercer before we get into too much meat and potatoes, but I'll introduce myself to you because you and I have never met. My name is Tammy D. I'm a lieutenant, actually, with the Sheriff's Office in criminal investigations, which is where Detective Mercer also works. And I know this is an uncomfortable way to update you on this case, but as long as you want to and you're willing to talk to us, we'll give you a case update and then talk to you if you're willing to talk to us. I wanted to meet you. I've never met you, of course, you know that. And kind of talk to you woman to woman also, because I think you only talk to the dudes, and I think this case is a little more complicated than some people are giving it credit for. They're looking at it in a black and white medical sense, and I see a little bit more to it than that. Maybe
20 minutes in, the questions turn to a dog named Seven.
All right, and then of course we showed up. So, Tammy, you have any questions?
Going back to when Seven bit her, can you describe her injuries from Seven?
I'm sorry.
When Seven bit her and you took her to the hospital, what were those injuries like?
To be honest, she already had, like, she was the type of child to take initiative of her, take steps of her own, so she had already wrapped her arm up, and I didn't get to see it.
What made you take her to the hospital?
Because they called and said she had got bitten by the dog, and they said it was deep or whatever. So I got home, tried to take her, but he had a problem with that. He didn't want it. I guess because he had custody, they're in his custody or whatever. However, I don't know. He wanted to do that. I guess because he was trying to get their Social Security checks and stuff. So they needed to know, like.
The lead detective takes over from here, walking Tyshael through the final days of Jamaria's life.
Oh, let's back up. So 14th, 15th, did Jamaria get in trouble at all? Did she do anything to be disciplined? And what kind of discipline was that?
So she was, I can't remember everything she did. She had to clean up. I told her to clean up because I couldn't watch her every step of the way due to me being sick that week. I don't know what her dad told her that she was in boot camp and she had to run on a treadmill and do squats and run in place and stuff like that. I just had her cleaning up.
So when she had to do, let's say, running in place, how long did she run in place for?
Honestly, a lot of that didn't go on when I was home.
Okay.
Because obviously that's a lot of stomping that I don't want to hear. So I don't know, maybe sometimes he would tell her to run for an hour or less.
And how would she run? With her hands up, hands down?
Both.
And did you ever make her run in place? Or
2 other injuries come up next, an ankle and a burn.
So I understand that Denaya and Tyshael were telling me that she had sprained her ankle. How did Jamaria sprain her ankle and when?
She told me that she tripped over the dog food downstairs when she was walking in the dark in the living room.
So downstairs living room? Okay. And then how did she get the burns to her feet and her back?
Ozaria said it was from hot water from the hair.
What was she doing with the hair? I understand Ozaria does hair, but I'm trying to see if you understand.
She has to dip it in hot water.
When the detective asks why Tyshael pinched Jamaria at all, her answer sounds almost routine.
Nothing that I witnessed.
You said that you pinched Jamaria in the past as punishment. What was the reason behind pinching? I kind of get some parents, like when they have a toddler starts biting you, you bite it back to kind of teach it, hey, that actually hurts. What was the purpose behind pinching? What would that do? What kind of punishment is that?
I just know that every time I acted out as a kid, I would get pinched. So,
but describe that to me. So, like, where would you get? Where you get pinched have some relevance to what you did wrong?
Right. So, when I did pinch her, I let him know. What I was saying was, every time she does something wrong today, I'm gonna pinch her.
Okay.
That's what I would tell him. Like, if she does something wrong today, I'm gonna pinch her.
And where would you pinch her at?
Like on her arm.
What the detective shows her next is not routine.
Well, I used to get pinched at and just.
Is that what happened to her nipples?
What happened to her nipples?
Well, her nipples are gone.
I never touched her nipples.
So you made me. It's kind of curious because you say that wherever she messes up, she'll get pinched, but then she's flashing a boy on the boat, and now her nipples are missing.
Well, when that was after the fact.
And I apologize for the gruesomeness of it, but I've had to stare at it for 2 months. Look at her nipples.
I didn't see that.
Well, I'm not asking if you saw it. I'm asking if you knew about it. If you did.
No, I didn't do that.
Do you see all the marks all over her body?
Yes.
Her autopsy report's over 26 pages long because they have to identify all these marks. And a lot of these marks on her body are pinch marks.
I didn't pinch her that many times.
You recognizing those photos?
There's a second video, one that quietly kills a different excuse.
Well, you know, and there's another video too of her running in place. You had her running in place, and then for whatever reason, you kick her from behind. She trips over the bag of dog food. That's when she sprained her ankle. I mean, that's because the next video with her in it, she's wearing an ankle wrap. It fits. There's no video of her wandering through the downstairs living room, tripping over a bag of dog food. There's a video of her proceeding wearing a wrap on her foot, of her running in place and you kicking her and her falling over.
2 hours into the interview, the detective stops asking questions and starts describing exactly what the cameras recorded.
But I wasn't abusing her over the time, though.
On the 15th, when you kicked her down, punched her or kicked her in the gut, kicked her in the back, stomped her head, grabbed her by her hair, dragged her across the floor, had the dog like he's gnawing on her face, right? And she's at the bottom of the stairs and she's lifeless and helpless and limp. And you're yelling at her to get the fuck up. Go upstairs, get the fuck up. This bitch wants me to kill her.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so question for you. Does that look good or does that look bad?
No, it looks bad.
Okay. Is that
It was
abuse?
just words.
No, it wasn't just words. You kicked her repeatedly. You stomped her head. You kicked her in the back, kicked her in the stomach. You dragged her by her hair across the floor, up the stairs. Like, so that's abuse. I don't know how you want to define that. That's not discipline. That's not corporal punishment. That's not a scare tactic. That's straight up abuse. So if you're asking me honestly, did you abuse her? Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't like I hit her on the butt once with a belt and she moved so it got her lower leg type argument. This is pretty bad. And the video is pretty bad.
We don't have videos of Lojuan doing that, whether it be because you deleted them, the ones of him, or he was smart enough not to do it on video. But as far as spending so much time with you, asking you, because your kids have already told us no.
So just from that alone, that was enough to kill her?
If a mosquito lands on you and it's sucking your blood and you have two choices. You can move your arm and make it fly away, or you can smack your arm and kill it. That quick of a decision is premeditation.
It was honestly just words. I was just repeating what he said to her.
Problem is we have you on video doing it.
But not trying to kill her.
But what you did
Looks like it.
resulted in her.
Earlier in the same interview, before this confrontation, the detective had already explained the actual physical cause of death.
So she died from her injuries. So it's kind of like it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. You ever heard of that? Like you get a little paper cut and it doesn't kill you, right? You get a lot of them. Well, then now your immune system's jacked up because it has to fix these things. It requires energy from your body, so you break down muscle, which breaks down proteins that go in your kidney. It's a whole thing, right? And then she has all these injuries that are staggered and historically long. So she's been whipped, she's been pinched, she's been punched, teeth broken, bit in the back of the head by a dog, possibly. She has all these injuries that her little body is trying to fix, right? All at one time. It's a lot. And then she's not given nutrition. She's not given proper amounts of water. She's not given proper amounts of food. And we know this because during the autopsy, we empty their stomachs. We check their bladders. I know what color her urine is. Her urine looked like coffee. She had so little fluids in her body that we barely didn't get enough blood because her body didn't have enough hydration. So we know she was dehydrated. We know she wasn't fed. And we know she has all these injuries that she's trying to recover from.
I fed her
So-
literally every day on the cruise,
Here's-
every day since we.
Here's what happens. When your body can't get food, it breaks down muscle. So I tell you not to starve yourself because you'll lose all your muscle mass. So your body breaks down this muscle to try to repair itself. Well, the problem is a lot of protein goes in the kidneys. Kidneys aren't built for that. They shut down. And then she dies. So literally preventable from one, not hitting a child like that, not making her exercise like that, not pinching her like that, not having her teeth.
A child who was pinched, whipped, and starved of water for days did not die from any single blow. She died because her body ran out of ways to keep repairing itself. By the end of the interview, detectives asked Tyshael to make one phone call.
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
I'm gonna need you to come forward and be honest about the abuse from Lojuan towards myself and the kid, Jamaria.
Days later, Jamaria's father, Lojuan Sessions, was arrested in Orange County and charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child. Like Tyshael, he's being held in the Lake County Jail with no bond. A sergeant who had been sent to the home weeks earlier for a welfare check and left without seeing Jamaria was demoted and reassigned. Tyshael Martin has been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and child neglect. Her trial has not yet taken place. If this kind of case breakdown is what you come here for, subscribing means you'll see the next one.